Yay! Your chain came in. Let's put it on. Okay, let's make some space. I think I'm gonna get my bike pulled out and get your bike centered up in the middle there. Try to get it lifted off the ground safely for getting the chain off and the new chain on. Okay, I got my bike out of the way and your bike centered up, and now we're ready. We got plenty of space, so let's get this package opened. It's addressed to Mr. Travis Olson. Okay, let's cut this baby and get it open, and let's see this new chain. There she is. Let's get her on. Okay, so I've done some research, and one of the easiest ways to get the tire off the ground is just by using a car jack. So right now the back tire is off of the ground, the front tire is still touching the ground, and the back tire is off of the ground because the kickstand is still down. So right now the bike is making contact with the kickstand and the front tire. And as you can see, the back tire, it's off of the ground. Just enough to do what we need to do. And you can tell by shaking on the bike that it's stable. You know, it's not gonna fall over. So that's how we got the bike up in the air. Now I'm gonna rotate the tire till I see the master link. Okay, I've rotated the tire until I see the master link. This link right here, if you notice it looks slightly different, that is the master link. It's got that little clip on it. So we gotta pop this clip off. What it does is you push on this clip this direction, and this whole thing slides this way, and it goes in that bigger part of the circle, and that little clip comes off, and then this master link will just totally come apart. And you'll notice that the direction of this clip is the way you want to put it back on. I've done research on that too, and the way this is on this bike is the proper way to install this type of master link. So this would be what they call the head of it. The solid side is what they call the head of it, and you want that going, when the tires in this, like that, when the chain's going in that direction, you want that to be going towards the motor first, and the open side to the rear. So I'm fixing to pop this apart and see you in a second. Okay, so popping off the master link with the screwdriver in this position, and just tapping on the screwdriver with a hammer, just like this, just placing the screwdriver like this and tapping on the end of the screwdriver with a hammer, and you'll see that the master link is, the clip for the master link is going the right direction. So this is how you go about getting that off. Ta-da! The master link clip came off. So now we're ready to start pulling the actual master link itself. And in this position, tapping the screwdriver, tapping on the end of the screwdriver in this position, you'll notice that this side of the master link pops off. So that's how you get that to pop off. Now the sidewall of the master link is off. So now we will push on these two little guys here. We'll push them that way to get this link all the way out of there. Okay, so to get as far as I've got it, what I did is I put the screwdriver in the back side and tapped on the screwdriver in the direction that I need it to go. And that's how we got this coming out like this. So a few more taps and this piece will be all the way out. Yep, just after a few taps, now this piece is out. And now you can see the chain is just sitting there. So now we're ready to start putting in the new one. And what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna connect this old one to the new one and let the old one pull the new one into place. Also be a good idea to count the links on this chain. So I'm gonna rotate this thing around and I'm gonna count how many links are on this chain. Okay, to count the links on this chain I'm taking off, I just put the master link in kind of backwards. I just stuck it back in there like this. You'll notice I did not put a clip on the back side. I just put it in there like that. Gave it a few good taps with the hammer to make sure it was in decent. And then I just ran it all the way around. And I started from here and just counted all the way around. And I got the same count twice. I counted it twice. So that's a good way to count exactly how many links are on the chain. And then we can just take the screwdriver and pop this back out the same way we popped it out the first time. Okay, got the new chain out of the box. When I counted the links on the chain on the bike, the old chain, it was exactly 61. I counted it twice. This is the new chain out of the box there. This is the old master link I put in this little box as a little keepsake. You see the two little rubbers, the little sidewall, and a little clip, and the actual link itself. So this old one, I'm just gonna set it to the side. And the new chain, I counted how many links were on it, and the new chain has exactly the same links as the chain we're taking off. So yeah, everything looks like we're going in the right direction. And this is the bag of the new master link with all the different little pieces. We'll get a better look at that here in a minute. Okay, in this view here, you'll notice all I did was let the old chain, I let the bottom fall to the ground here, because I'm going to take this new chain and I'm actually going to attach it to the old chain with the old master link. I'm just going to put it in there the same way that you saw me when I put it in, just to count the links on the old chain. So I'm actually going to connect this new chain to the old chain and then use that to, with them connected, I can pull the new chain all the way into place. Okay, now you can see how I've got the old chain and the new chain held together by the master link. And you'll notice I did not put the other side of the master link on. We're gonna be going slow enough that it's not gonna fall. So, in any event, now I'm just going to rotate, or I'm gonna pull on this bottom piece of chain slowly to pull the new chain all the way into place. Okay, all I did was pull on the old chain on the bottom side. The chain that's on the ground there, I pulled on that nice and slow until I got the new chain pulled all the way around into position. And now you can see right here the master link that was in there holding the old one to the new one. So I'll just get this popped back out and start getting the new master link, get this chain into place and position, and getting this thing pinned back together with the new chain. Okay, so it's time to loosen up this bolt here. Same on the other side. Got to loosen that a little bit. And then this is the adjuster bolt to give, so that the tire can go forward a little bit. The new chain is not stretched yet. So the old chain that was on there, if you look at this little guide right here, that little guide is telling you that the chain that was on this bike needed to be replaced. You see it says replace chain, and then it's got a blue area and then a new. So when we get done, we should be a lot closer to that new area because it's a new chain. So right now I can't get the master link in because the rear tire needs to go forward, because the old chain that was on here was needing to be replaced because it's just been on the bike long enough that it had stretched to its limits. Every time the chain begins to get a little loose, this is how you tighten it. It's normal with a normal wear and tear of a chain. So you just loosen this on both sides. These little bolts here, you tighten them up a little bit and make sure it's even. So if you turn this one time around, make sure you turn the other one time around. That way it keeps the tire nice and straight. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this loose so that we can get this tire moved forward so that we can get this new chain pinned together with MasterLink. Okay, I put a wrench on this side and a wrench on the other side on the exact same spot here and there, and loosen that up. Once I got that loose, then I just put my wrench, which was an 8mm, put an 8mm here and actually turned it in like clockwise, and it brought the tire further towards the motor. And now if you notice this mark right now, it's in the newer position, so I'm hoping now that I can get the MasterLink to come together on this chain. Okay, well, after that adjustment, I was able to get the chain to come together. All I did was rotate it. It was way down here. I had this top piece. You can see right here is where the MasterLink's not there yet. Right now it's just loose sitting there. I don't want to turn the tire because then I have to do it all over again. But all I did was, this was way down here, and then this piece that was just loose dangling, I just pulled it up here and put it in position, and then I just turned the tire until the tire come over here. See, over here it's going to hold it in place for me so that I can get that MasterLink back in there. So now I'm going to open the new MasterLink pieces and start slapping them together. Okay, these are all the pieces, the new pieces for the new MasterLink. The main piece itself, the other side plate, the little clip, and then these 4 little rubbers. So the way these 4 little rubbers work is you'll put one rubber here, you'll put another rubber here, and then you'll get this put in the same way it once was. And after this piece is in, then the other 2 rubbers will go in. I'll show you in a second. Okay, and don't forget the lubricant oil. So you just put a little lubricant oil on these new rubbers, a couple drops here, a couple drops there, and then stick it in. And then you do the same thing when you put the other 2 rubbers in. I'll show you in a second. Okay, all we did was put some oil here and some oil here. You can see it's all oiled up good. Now we're ready to go ahead and get this thing popped in. Okay, so trying to get the new MasterLink to come in from the backside like it's supposed to, I was having to squeeze the chain together. So what I did is I just took some needle nose and in here like this to squeeze it together. This is actually the old MasterLink right here. So all I did was squeeze it together like this to get them get it together good and tight so that I could just easily, barely slide in the old master link. So right now the old master link's barely in, and that's helping hold things in place. So now I can come in from the back side with the new master link and get it slid in, and when it slides in, boom, it pops the old one out. But it sure helped hold things in place to make that a lot easier. So just remember, the trick is the needle nose like this, squeezing it together. And if you got an old master link, to put into this side, because it's just a little easier, and it holds it so that when you put the new one in, it just pushes the old one out, and boom, you're good to go. So this is where we will put the other two rubbers. We will slide them on right there, put some of that oil on it, and then we will slide the other plate on. After we slide the other plate on, then we will put the little clip into place that holds the chain into place. So, okay, so we put a little rubber here, we put a little rubber here, and then we put some of the oil on it. We put oil all over them little rubbers real good. And then we got the new little side plate on. And then I actually took some pliers, some channel locks like this. Now this was before this little clip was there. Before I could get that clip to get sitting like this. So remember, before this clip is there, I used the channel locks to kind of squeeze the chain, to squeeze that sidewall good in, so that I was able to get the little grooves on the little clip. So I squeezed that with channel locks, and then I grabbed the little clip and I slid it into this position all by hand. And now I'm ready to take a flathead screwdriver. I'm going to take a flathead screwdriver, place it on top here, and then just tap it into place. And then the new chain is on. And then we got to tighten it and all that. Okay, the new chain is on. All I did was I put a screwdriver on top of it like that, and then hit from above to tap it down into place, and boom. That's exactly how it's supposed to be. It's in the seated good and everything, so now the chain's on. Okay, master link's all good and everything. It was time to tighten the chain on the bike. This was still loose, and these were still in, so that we were able to get the chain easily on. So these little notches here, you got notches here, right there, and on the other side. So when you start tightening, you just want to do the exact same amount on each side so that the tire stays nice and square and even and not getting crooked. So once you tighten a little, make sure these notches look identical on both sides, and then you just check your chain to see how tight it is. When you think you're done or getting close to being done, you just hold a tape measure like this, and then you push on the chain to see how much the chain's moving. They suggest 3/4 of an inch is just right. So that's where I've got it. I've got it at 3/4 of an inch. And after getting the chain nice and in position like we want it, to where both of these are even on both sides, checked it with a tape measure, everything checked out there. So now it's time to tighten the tire back up. So I'll put a wrench back on this side, a wrench back on the other side, and just kept tightening until it tightened up. Once it tightened up, I just put a little bit on it. I didn't get too carried away. You don't want to, there's no reason to really put it like crazy tight. Even when I untightened it, it didn't take a whole lot of force to get that loose. So, you know, you want it tight, but you don't want to go overboard and go too tight. So now the bike's complete. It's ready for a test run. Other than I'm going to spray some chain lube all over this new chain. Always don't forget to keep your chain lubed good. Alrighty then. Okay, I believe we got it all done. New chain's on, it's tightened up good, the master link's on good. I lowered the bike back down to the ground. The jack is now over there on the floor, just kind of hanging out by the bicycles. So now it's time to take this little girl on a test drive. So I'm gonna crank her up and get her out and see how she does. I expect she's gonna do great. Okay, right before test driving the bike, I put some chain lubricant oil all over it. And good news, the bike test drove beautifully. So there you go, new chain, awesome.